Hey friends, happy 2025. I am so excited for today's video because this is genuinely one of my favorite times of the whole year. I love that these early days of January give you the chance to kind of step back from your life and reflect on the past year, how it went, how you grew as a person, the things you experienced, but it also gives you a chance to think about the things you're excited about and kind of dream and scheme for the new year. So today we're going to be prepping for 2025 together, so we're going to be going through our journals, our planners, and our vision boards. Grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's get started. So first things first, when it comes to setting up my journal, the very first thing I always do is set up this title page. I've done pretty much the exact same title page every single year since 2020. I just alternate the colors back and forth. It just kind of made sense to me, like 2024 is like a pink year and 2025 is a blue year, you know? So underneath kind of the title page, I'll normally write in some kind of quote or motto or scripture that I feel like encapsulates the year that I want to have or kind of my intention going into the year. I'm kind of waiting until I come across something that really resonates with me before I write it down. But I did see one quote the other day that said, "Create what you love and love other people." And I thought that was kind of a fitting motto for the year because that's really what I want to be all about in this whole new year. So that might be it, but it also, I don't know, when I do find it, it's gonna go right under there. So when the title page is done, I flip the page. On the very first page of that new spread, I write out my goals for the year. But then on the other page, on the opposite end of the spread, I like to write out life as a glance. So a few years ago, I took a life planning seminar by Michael Hyatt, and he has this exercise where you take stock of your life based on 10 different domains, which kind of break down into 3 concentric circles. So the first innermost circle is the circle of being, and that includes spiritual, physical, emotional, and intellectual areas of life. After that circle of being, you have the circle of relating, and that one refers to all your relationships with other people. So it breaks down to family, social life, and romantic life. So for me, I put marriage. And the very outermost circle is the circle of doing, and that one he breaks down to vocational, avocational, and financial areas of life. I kind of switched that up a little bit to make it more relevant for me. So what I put down was writing, career, YouTube, and hobbies, because I felt like that kind of captured what I'm interested in tracking in my journal, at least. So on the very first page of that new spread, I write out my goals for the year. I normally like to keep this to 5 or so, just so that it doesn't get too overwhelming. And really what I like to do is choose areas of my life that I want to focus on in the new year and then set goals in those. So in 2025, what I did was I set goals for writing, YouTube, career, travel, and fun. So those are kind of the things that I'm going to strive towards most in 2025. So my biggest goal for writing is that I want to send this manuscript out to literary agents later in the year and start looking for representation for the book. So that's really my biggest goal in the writing thing, but that kind of necessarily means that I really whip this manuscript into shape, get some critiques from beta readers, take all that into consideration, make a lot of edits, that kind of thing, and then send it out. So the second big goal that I set was in the YouTube sphere. So my biggest goal for YouTube this year is that I want to be posting a lot more consistently. So my plan is to post one video every other Friday. I want to be posting at least one literary analysis video and one writing vlog per month, and then maybe additional content as time allows. Third, I am starting a new job in a few weeks, and I'm very, very excited to tell you guys more about that, but I'm kind of keeping it under wraps until it's all finalized. I really want to excel in that new role and put my whole heart into that. My fourth goal is all about travel, and then in the 5th category, I just wrote down all of my kind of fun goals. So memorizing poetry or practicing piano, reading more C.S. Lewis. I recently picked up running, which was a plot twist to everybody, including myself. And I think it would be really fun to run a 10K this year. That's kind of something I'm gonna work towards. So anyway, so that's kind of an overview of my goals. For this life at a glance section, what I really like to do is write out just a couple sentences for each area of life in present tense as if it's already happening. It's kind of like a best case scenario of how I feel about that area of my life. It could be kind of habits that I'm cultivating. It could just be my feeling or attitude about that area of my life. And so I can really visualize what it would be like to be living my ideal life in each of those areas. So anyway, between the title page, the goals, and the life at a glance, this really summarizes kind of how I set up my journal for the new year. So one quick little tangent that would be kind of fun to go down is how I set up my journal. So I used to journal pretty much every single day in a moleskin like this, and you can kind of see them all back there lining my shelf. And then at some point it just didn't work for me anymore. So what I've kind of done now is instead of journaling in this, I pick up bigger notebook style journals like this, and I can just write down every single day my thoughts, documenting what's going on in my life. I can write down story ideas or lists or content ideas or scripts for videos or anything like that. So that all happens in here. And then this Moleskine journal, I've kind of retired to being my life check-in notebook. So I'll just kind of come back to this whenever I want to plan out a new year or whenever I feel like I need to check in on my life in general. So anyway, that's kind of how I set up my journals, in case you were wondering. You didn't ask, but there you go. So let's go ahead and move on to how I prep my planner. This is the first journal I've had in a long time where I actually like the cover. I'm big into florals, as you probably know, but crucial ingredient is make sure you get one whose cover you appreciate. The planner setup was pretty minimal this year. In the very first page, sometimes I'll write down a few key passwords just for easy reference. And then I like to add in kind of a color code list. I really love the markers from, I think it's Tombow. They have these colored markers that I use to highlight everything in my whole life. So what I like to do is kind of link certain colors to certain areas of my life. So purple means church, and gray means appointments, and bright blue means travel, you know. So I do that because I really like the monthly layout to look very color-coded and neat and organized. So I can just see at a glance what I'm involved in the month, what's coming up. It's just very organized, it's very color-coded. We appreciate it. So I like to color code each of the months just to make the whole layout a little prettier in the same blue and pink color scheme. Later I'll go in and write down any important dates, any birthdays or weddings or big events or travel, anything like that. I'll just kind of fill in so that I have a kind of the year at a glance easily accessible at the beginning of my journal. So then flipping into the January monthly spread, what I did was I went in and wrote in any plans that I knew I had for the month ahead, including any trips that I had planned, any work meetings, any birthdays or appointments or anything like that. So setup was pretty minimal for this, but it still just feels super good to start all fresh with a whole new planner. Nothing like it. So moving on to everybody's favorite part, the vision board. I just feel like the vision board is the most intuitive exercise for figuring out what you want in your life, because it's purely visual and it captures not just what you want to do, but how you want to feel going into a new year, you know? So I was trying to pick really aesthetic looking pictures that had the right color scheme and the right mood to them to kind of capture what I wanted for my life in the new year. I don't know how well this is like gonna fit in frame or anything, but I can do my best. So much for that. So I really want to work on our backyard in 2025, especially by summer. I want to read outside more, practice piano, have deep work sessions. This one is kind of a finishing the manuscript kind of goal. Running, travel, fun, reading at the beach. I'm going to the snow in a couple weeks and I'm very excited about that, especially skiing. Also, I really want to grow my hair that long. I think that would be really cool. Got a ways to go, but yeah, a lot of this is just self-explanatory, but I thought it was fun because it just really encapsulates how I want to feel in the new year, you know? A lot of deep work doing things that I love, but also a lot of fun and lots of like living life to the fullest, wholeheartedly, you know? I just love this kind of stuff. I love this so much. It just fills my soul in such a very specific way to have my vision board set up and my journal caught up and my planner all ready for the new year. It's just truly the best feeling ever. So now that I've shared all of my goals and aspirations for the new year, I would really love to hear from you guys. What are you gonna focus on? What are you gonna work on more in 2025? Just what are your dreams and schemes for 2025? So anyway, share all of that below. I can't wait to cheer you guys on. Thanks so much for joining me on today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, it would mean so much to me if you give this video a thumbs up. It just kind of helps YouTube know that this is a cool video and more people should see it, and just kind of like helps get it out into the world, you know? And also, if you enjoy books or writing or travel or creativity, then hit subscribe. There's gonna be a lot more video content coming your way on this channel very soon. So without any further ado, Happy New Year, my friends. I really hope it's a good one for you, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.